festival of Govardhan. We actually make a replica of the Govardhan hill with sweets and salty preparations. So the program is from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. next Sunday. And if you'd like to help making the hill, you can come at 2 p.m. and we'll be engaging all the devotees in the services of making the Govardhan hill. Especially if you'd like to bring any sweets or salty preparations that can go on top of the hill, that'd be great. We can also engage children in making the actual cows and gopis and gopas so that they can be nicely decorated. We really request you all to please spread the word by mouth, by WhatsApp, by Instagram, by however you spread the word so that maximum number of people can take advantage of this wonderful festival. We're going to have spectacular darshan, blissful kirtans going on. We'll have some cultural programs. There'll be activities for children. If you would like to have any of your child dress up as a gopi or a gopa or anything of that, like that, feel free to do that. That'll be amazing. We would actually be doing a circumambulation of the Govardhan hill. There'll be delicious prasadam stalls, and of course we'll have ghee lamp, somber, tura, and all there. There'll be a Mahaprasadam feast and an Abhishek ceremony of Giriraj Govardhan. That'll be happening next Sunday. We have sponsorship opportunities if you'd like to sponsor Arati, Abhishek, flowers, or the Annakut Prasadam. Annakut is a very, very special Prasadam. Annakut is made once in a year. If you know what it is, you can't miss it. If you don't know what it is, you still can't miss it. And you gotta be here and taste what is Annakut Prasadam like. So if you'd like to sponsor any of those, please see my Aditya Narayan Prabhu, myself, or Mother Leela Shakti. We have the founder Acharya of ISKCON, His Divine Grace Abhay Charnaravind Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. His disappearance day is coming up on November 16th. Just mark your calendars. We'll announce details of the program later. And also we have the devotee, the devotee's grandmother, Nulu Padmavati. She left this planet and made her onward journey. So let's all pray that she gets attracted, she reaches the ultimate destination of Lord Krishna's lotus feet. Everybody?
The feast is sponsored.
And the feast has been sponsored in the honor of Mother Nulu Padmavati. Everybody, let's all chant for her. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And we also have Manohar Gopal Prabhuji. His father is right now recovering from a health condition, and we are all requesting prayers to Lord Nrsimhadev for his quick recovery and his full protection. Everybody, let us all chant together for him. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And just a couple quick more announcements. We have this birthday blessing seva. So the devotees for this week is Bhupendra Jain and Manjula Konka. Do I think Bhupendra Jain, is he here?
Yeah.
Is he outside? He was earlier. Okay, so let's all chant for them. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And one last thing is, during prasadam, we have children who are playing on the backyard, here in the front yard, which is great. We all want to have the children to have a great time. All we ask is that we have someone as an adult supervise them. We take child safety very, very seriously. So somebody can please supervise them and they can have a great time. That'll be all for the announcements, and we can now move on with the program.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
It's a very, very special day as Vikasana Prabhu announced. Devotees receiving initiation. As Vedanta souls have been waiting for how many lifetimes for this most auspicious day. So it's very, very special. So we'll be going through the procedure. So we'll have the purification, and then Maharaj will be giving the class, and then we'll have the yajna. So first of all, whenever we start any yajna, we actually first of all purify ourselves, and the purification is both internal and external. So these Brahma Samhita sheets have been passed around. Okay, so everyone can please start off. First we'll start with the purification. So everyone has Achmana cups. So you can follow me. Okay, so everyone follow me. You can hold the spoon in your left hand and take 3 drops of water in your right hand. So, 3 drops of water in your right hand, just hold, and looking at the water, you will repeat after me. Om Keshavaya Namaha. Om Keshavaya Namaha. And then you sip it. Now next we just take 3 drops of water and just wash your hand. We'll repeat this twice. So again, take 3 drops of water in your right hand. Again, take 3 drops of water in your right hand, everyone. And looking at the water, please chant Om Narayanaya Namaha. Om Narayanaya Namaha. Again, purify. Again, 3 drops of water in your right hand. Please chant Om Madhavaya Namaha. Om Madhavaya Namaha. Just wash your hand once. So now you can fold your hands in a prayerful mood. Please repeat after me. Om Apavitra Pavitro Va Sarvavastam Tatopi Va Yasmare Pundarikaksham Saha Bhaya Abhyantarah Suchihi Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu. This mantra actually says that whatever may be impure in our existence, we actually remember Smare Pundarikaksham, Shri Radha Golokanda, who has lotus-like eyes. So we meditate on the beautiful form of their lordships, and by internal meditation we purify ourselves. So external and internal purification. So now, and maybe we need one Mataji to help. Someone would like to help? So, to all the Matajis, you can offer the garland, and Mother Champaka is also there. You should always offer the garland from the front, not from behind. So just a little bit in front. And Prabhu, offer, please. Everyone can please join me. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Okay, Hare Krishna. Om Asya Karmanam Punyaham Bhavantu Bhavantu Om Punyaham Om Punyaham Om Punyaham Om Asya Karmanam Swasti Bhavantu Bhavantu Ayushman Swasti Om Swasti Om Swasti Om Swasti Om Asya Karmanam Riddhim Bhavantu Bhavantu Om Riddhyatam Om Riddhyatam Om Riddhyatam Om Tad Vishnu Paramadam Sada Pashyanti Surya Deva Chakshuratatam Tad Vipraso Vipravo Jagrimam Sa Samindati Vishnu Ryat Paramadam Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu. Okay, so now we'll be reciting the Brahma Samhita prayers. I think everyone has a copy, so we'll chant together. So those who don't have, we have some extra copies, so you can share. So everyone can join us in chanting. So everyone please chant together. Do you have extra garland? Behind you. So please everyone join in the Brahma Samhita prayer. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam Chintamani Karma Sukalpa Vriksha Laksha Vrideshu Sravira Vipalayantam Lakshmi Sahasra Sadasam Pravasejamadam Govindamadi Purusham Namaham Bhajami Srimam Panantam Aravinda Dalaya Kaksham Bhagavatam Samasitam Pugasundarangam Kandarpakoti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ananda Chinmaya Pashanti Panti Kalayanti Chiram Jaganti Ananda Chinmaya Sarujjvala Vigrahasya Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Advaitam Achyutam Anadi Mananta Rupam Adyam Purana Purusham Navayauvanam Cha Vedeshu Durlabham Adurlabham Atma Bhaktau Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Pantastu Koti Satavatsara Sampradamyo Vayo Rathapi Manaso Munipungavanam Sopyasti Yat Pravadasimaniya Vichincha Tattve Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ekopya Saurachaitum Jagadanda Kotim Yat Shaktirasti Jagadanda Chayaya Dantaha Andantarastha Paramanu Chayantarastham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yadbhava Bhavita Dhiyo Manujastathaiva Samprapya Rupa Mahima Samyana Bhushaha Sutyayameva Nigama Pradhitaistu Vanti Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratibhavitabhis Kabhiya Eva Nijarupataya Kalabhihi Goloka Eva Nivasati Akhilatma Bhuto Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena Santah Sadaiva Hridayeshu Vilokayanti Yam Shama Sundaram Achintya Gunaswarupam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ramadi Murti Shukalani Ame
विभूतिभिन्नं तद्ब्रह्म निष्कलमनन्तमशेषभूतं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि। माया हि यस्य जगदण्डशतानि सूते त्रैगुण्यतद्विषयवेदवितायमाना सत्त्वावलम्बि परसत्त्वं विशुद्धसत्त्वं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि। आनन्दचिन्मयरसात्मदयामनःसु यः प्राणिनां प्रतिफलं स्मरतामुपेत्य लीलायितेन भुवनानि जयत्यजस्रं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि। गोलोकनाम्नि निजधाम्नि तले च तस्य देवी महेश हरिधाम श्रुतेषु तेषु ते प्रभावनिचया विहिताश्च येन गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि। सृष्टिस्थितिप्रलयसाधनशक्तिरेका छायेव यस्य भुवनानि बिभर्तु दुर्गा इच्छानुरूपमपि यस्य च तिष्ठति सा गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि। क्षीरं यथा दधिविकारविशेषयोगात् सञ्जायते न हि ततः पृथगस्ति हेतो यः सम्भूतामपि तथा समुपैति कार्यात् गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि। दीपार्चिरेव हि दशान्तरमभ्युपेत्य दीपायते विव्रतहेतुसमानधर्मा यस्तप्रियेव हि च विष्णुतया विभाति गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि। यः कारणार्णवजले भजति स्म योगा निद्रामनन्तजगदण्डसरोमकूपाः आधारशक्तिमवलम्ब्य परं स्वमूर्तिं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि। यस्यैकनिश्वसितकालमथावलम्ब्य जीवन्ति लोमविलजा जगदण्डनाथाः विष्णुर्महान् सह्यस्य कलाविशेषो गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि। भास्वान्यभास्म सकलेषु निजेषु तेजः स्वीयं कियात् प्रकटयत्यपि तद्वत्तत्र ब्रह्माय एष जगदण्डविधानकर्ता गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि। यत्पादपल्लवयुगं विनिधाय कुम्भा द्वन्द्वे प्रणामसमये सगणाधिराजाः विघ्नान् विहन्तुमलमस्य जगत्त्रयस्य गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि। अग्निर्महीगगनमङ्गुमरुद्विषश्च कालस्तथात्ममनस इति जगत्त्रयाणि यस्माद्भवन्ति विभवन्ति विशन्ति यं च गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि। यच्चक्षुरेष सविता सकलग्रहाणां राजा समस्तासुरभूतिरशेषतेजाः यस्याज्ञया भ्रमति सम्भ्रतकालचक्रो गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि। धर्मोऽथ पापनिचया श्रुतयस्तपास्मि ब्रह्मादिकीटपतगावधयश्च जीवाः यद्दत्तमात्रविभवः प्रकटप्रभावं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि। यस्तु इन्द्रगोपमथवेन्द्रमहोस्वधर्मा बन्धानुरूपफलभाजनमातनोति कर्माणि निर्दहति किन्तु च भक्तिभाजां गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि। यं क्रोधकामसहजा प्रणयादिभीति वात्सल्यमोहगुरु गौरवसेव्य भावैः सञ्चित्य तस्य सदृशीं तनुना पुरेते गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि श्रियकान्ता परमपुरुष कल्पतरवो ध्रुवभूमिश्चिन्तामणिगणमयी तोयममृतं कथागानं नाट्यं गमनमपि वंशिप्रियसखी चिदानन्दं ज्योति परमपितरास्वादयमपि च स यत्र क्षीराब्धि श्रवति सुरभियाश्च च सुमहान् निमेषाराध्याख्यो वा व्रजति न हि यत्रापि समया भजे श्वेतद्वीपं तमहमिह गोलोकमिति यम् विदन्तस्ते सन्तः क्षितिविरलचारः कतिपये गोविन्दम्
तमहं भजामि गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि Shri Shri Brahma Samhita ki jai. So you can pass the sheets back. And also at this time, if we can have the neck piece changed, so devotees can help. Some devotees from behind, anyone can help. So for every initiate, you take out the old bead and you can actually, someone will help you put the new bead. So you don't put it for yourself, but someone will help you change the beads. Yes, change the beads. Someone can help. Someone can help Hemant Prabhu? And then Mataji? You have Sudai Mati. Can you help Radha Mataji? Everyone, while putting on new neck piece, please chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. So now all the devotees who are sitting here, please turn around. Maharaj will give the class now. So those four who are sitting here, please turn around. And can someone give the mic stand? So Maharaj will give the class now, and after that we continue.
So, Omagala Timirandasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmeditam Yena Tasnai Shigave Namaha. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of my spiritual masters, Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. And Srila Prabhupada so kindly rescued us from the ocean of nescience and given us the shining lamp of knowledge. So, today we are celebrating initiation, Vaishnava initiation, on this very important day in the month of Kartika, Bahulastami. Oops. So, very important day in the month of Kartik, and very auspicious occasion, this initiation. So we're going to describe what initiation is. So actually there's two types of initiation taking place here. One type is the Harinam initiation. So it's called the first initiation. And the second type is called the Brahman initiation, Gayatri Mantra initiation. And both of these types of initiation are called samskaras. Now, for those of you who are familiar with the term samskara, you usually think of samskara in terms of some ritual you do at certain stages of someone's life, like these namakarana samskara, and ultimately, I hate to mention this, adyeshti. That means the end of the life. So, the word samskara doesn't mean ceremony, for those of you who want to know. The word samskara is composed of three syllables, but two parts, sang and skara. Sang means perfect or complete, and kara means pretty like to action or work. So it means complete action or complete work. Now what do we mean by that? Why is this a complete action? Why is this a complete work? Because these different samskaras, they actually impress a samskara, which is also another meaning of samskara, is an impression on the subtle body. For those of you who don't know the philosophy very well, we have this thing called a gross body. Gross in this sense doesn't mean disgusting, although it probably is, you know. I describe, isn't it? Tridhaduke, bio, mucus, and air, and other wonderful substances. But in this particular context, the word gross means the Pancha Mahabhuta. That is earth, water, fire, air, and ether. And subtle means mind, intelligence, and false ego. So we have this thing here. Thing. It's not me, it's a thing. It's not a person, it's a thing. And I am driving the thing. Krishna says that in the Bhagavad Gita. Ishvara sarvabhutanam yantra. Isn't it? Yantra rudani maya. It's a yantra. Just like some of you have very fancy cars. I was walking through the parking lot and seeing, oh, so many fancy cars. You saw a nice Tesla there. Don't worry, I'm not into this. So we saw nice fancy cars there, and some of you have rather junky cars. Near the school there, I saw one of these Volkswagen Bug things. I know it doesn't work anymore. So some of us have fancy bodies, and the other people have not so fancy bodies. Some people have young machines, some people have older machines. And with these machines, it's not as easy to trade it in for a new one. Just like I was talking to this devotee here, I said, don't you have an iPhone 15 by now? I said, no, and she was crying, I only have an iPhone 13. I said, oh, I feel sorry. I'm an Android person. So, but it's like that. This is the gross body. It's just a thing. Remember that. And we're spending our whole lives decorating these things. Those of you who are ladies, sometimes you like to go walking around the mall for things for the thing. Isn't it things to decorate, and you comb the hair on the thing. You put makeup on the thing. And so that's all it is. It's a thing. It's not you. But then we have also a subtle thing. That's our mind, intelligence, and false ego. And you can't see the subtle thing, but we know it exists because we all have a mind. What is the mind? Accepting and rejecting things based on our desires, the momentary impulses. Wow, I'd really like to eat that. I don't want to eat that. Just like today, dinner, someone gave me something. It was, a little too spicy. So I don't want to eat that. So, that's the mind. And the intelligence, okay, you got the intelligence a little higher. Intelligence means, even if you don't like what it tastes, you should eat it because it's good for you. Or the person serving you will get insulted if you don't eat it. That's called intelligence. Because sometimes you just bite the bullet, so to speak, and you eat something you don't want to eat just to please the guests or please your host. So intelligence. Of course, Krishna conscious intelligence is something different. That we know that chanting is good for us. And we know in the beginning of Krishna consciousness, as described by Krishna in the Gita, that it may appear to be difficult, even like poison, but at the end it's going to be like nectar. So with intelligence we say, okay, I know it's going to be like nectar. Right now, waking up early in the morning. Right now, waking up, sorry, is a ghost in the machine. Has a soul, just like your machines have souls. So waking up in the morning, don't want to do it, but you get up because the intelligence says it's good for you, you'll like it later on, and your mind is thinking, when will later on come? We've got another microphone. This one's charged. This thing is charged. It's a young thing. So that's intelligence. And there's material intelligence. Material intelligence means you work really hard because you know you want money, even though you don't want to get up early in the morning, but you get up early. Just like my father, he worked really hard. He got up at 3 o'clock in the morning, earlier than most devotees that I know, because he wanted money, he wanted to be opulent, and he was successful at doing that. So even to be materially successful, you got to function on the level, at least intelligence in the mode of passion. So that's intelligence. And then ego, okay, here's the third step in the subtle body. Ego is the concept of I and mine. Very simple. And that's the opposite of Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is the concept, or the realization, that everything belongs to Krishna. Yashavashamidam sarvam yat kimcha javachat bhagatena chaitanya pujara mavradakasha svetanam. Everything belongs to Krishna, and everything is meant for Krishna's pleasure. And we are what? Part and parcel of Krishna. Mami Bangsa Jiva Loke, Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. So this subtle body carries impressions from one lifetime to another. Really interesting. And so these samskaras are meant to give some impression to the subtle body. Subtle body is like a piece of clay. I don't know if any of you, when you were young, used to play with pieces of clay. I did. We had this thing called silly putty. Everybody knows what that is? Yeah. It's worldwide. I would take the silly putty and actually put it on top of my comic books and make impressions from the comic books and then stretch and everything like that. But basically it was taking impressions from something else, or putting it in a mold and making nice cookies and things like that that didn't taste too good. So that was silly putty. So our subtle body is like this silly putty stuff, that whatever it comes in contact with, and it's also an it, it's not us. Because us means the soul. The soul is just sitting on this car, Bhagavad Gita, metaphor. And the horses are the senses, and the reins, they're the mind, and the driver is the intelligence. So just sitting, watching everything go by. So, anyway, so this subtle body is getting all these impressions from every single experience we have. So all life is a samskara in one sense. Maybe not a perfect action, but an action that makes impressions on our subtle body. Now, those of you who are a little older like me, we even remember different songs from our childhood. All it takes is just one little stimuli, and I'm singing some song from the 1930s. Oh, sorry. Right? I mean, just everybody who knows me knows that. It's just like, oh, okay. Yeah, I want to hold your hand. You know, something like that. A Beatles song or something like that. So these are impressions on the subtle body. And these impressions sort of pollute our consciousness. They keep us from realizing ourselves. Just like if you keep throwing dirt on a lens or on a mirror, the example usually given is a mirror, then it gets more and more clogged up and you cannot see the image so clearly. So throughout many lives, just talking about, I think I have to keep the microphone some distance away. I tend to get a little emotive. So we're not just talking about this lifetime, but through many lifetimes we have all these impressions, and therefore even when we're born in this lifetime we have these certain phobias. Phobias means fears. Some people are afraid of water. Of course, sometimes in Indian culture people are afraid of water because their mothers told them to be afraid of water. Mothers had this superstitious dream that they were going to drown, right? Does it happen sometimes? So they never teach the kids how to swim. So when it comes time for a flood, the kids actually drown. It's self-fulfilling. You ever heard about this before? Big problem. So, but in any case, we do have these phobias from past lives. And we're, certain fears that can't be explained. That's one evidence. And, certain mannerisms and whatever, or even attraction to Krishna. Like some people, we find are so naturally attracted to Krishna. They just hear one chanting of Hare Krishna and get the hair buzz around and their hair comes. And other people, we just have to tell them, if you want to take initiation, it has to come off. What, really, Maharaj? So, isn't it? It's just like, it's amazing. Like when Prabhupada came to the Western world, all Prabhupada did was just sit down in Tompkins Square Park and chant. Some people just said, where do we join? Actually, I had that experience too, but not in Tompkins Square Park. But I heard Prabhupada chanting on the radio, and I thought, that's it. Goodbye, cruel world. And my mother said, what happened, my dear son? I said, I'm not interested in any of this stuff anymore. I lost all interest. Of course, we don't want that to happen to all of you, but we have to support our temple here. So please keep your jobs and maintain your lives. Krishna wants you to keep your jobs. So anyway, she said times have changed because I used to preach differently. So anyway, so these impressions are there, and so it's incumbent upon us, that means it's our duty, to have some good impressions and not give bad impressions to other people. For example, if any of you are parents, it's your duty to only give good impressions to your children, and of course your children are going to school and getting all sorts of interesting impressions, because your children, in many cases, are ABCDs. American-born confused daisies. And so at least the parents should arrange good impressions. And you know, if someone looks at, what is it called? TikTok. No one's heard of that before. And they're getting all these really bad impressions. And you're wondering why they're having so much trouble chanting, they're not chanting. Because of all these impressions. It really happens like that. It really affects the consciousness. It's association. What does that mean? Oh, bad impressions.
The sound is not good.
The sound's no good?
Sometimes.
Okay. If I get too close, okay. Can you hear better now? Okay. So, okay, we will try our best to speak close to the microphone. So the whole point is we have to protect others from having these bad impressions, and we have to protect ourselves. So basically, except for the spiritual impressions, we want to get rid of the bad impressions. And what's the methodology for getting rid of the bad impressions? Does anyone know?
Chanting.
Chanting. Cheto darpana marjanam. Bhava mahadvagni nirvapana. Right? It cleanses the mirror of the heart. And then you can see and understand who you are. Because you are a spiritual entity. You have a spiritual identity. You have a spiritual relationship with Krishna. It's not an artificial imposition on the mind. You are naturally Krishna conscious. And here's the big one. You are in the spiritual world. That's what Prabhupada said. Don't blame me for that. But you are walking around in this virtual reality thinking you're here. But the soul is non-material. The soul is not here. The body is here. The thing is here. You understand? So the whole idea is exposing yourself to the holy name. Then, like when one recovers from amnesia or one wakes up early in the morning, then you remember, hey, I am this coward boy, wow. Or I am this gopi, or I am this mother or father of Krishna, or I am Krishna. You're always Krishna's servant. Wow. How come I didn't know this before? So it is a natural process, and this is the process that devotees are getting initiated in today. The process of chanting Hare Krishna. Of course, as I said, some devotees are taking the second initiation, which will help deepen their connection with the holy name. Actually, all someone needs in order to be Krishna conscious is to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. No other mantra is necessary. Why is no other mantra necessary? Nama Chintamani Krishna's Chaitanya Vasavigra Punashitana Jivukto Vinatvam Nama Namino. Because the name Chintamani is spiritual. And it's full of ras. It's full of life. It's full of form. Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha. It is complete. Purna. It is pure. It is non-different from Krishna, or he is non-different from Krishna. Nam is non-different from Krishna. And so you're associating with Krishna, and Hridayanta Sto Yavadrani Virunoti Suritsatam. Srinvata Swakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana. Hridayanta Sto Yavajani Virunoti Suritsatam. Krishna is in your heart, and he's your well-wisher, and he does the cleaning. He's your well-wisher. He wants you to be Krishna conscious. That's all you got to do. And so in order to chant with the most effect, because there are different stages of chanting. I mean, one could chant offensively, not so effective. One can chant in the clearing stage. One can chant in the Baba stage, or one can chant in the pure stage. So at least we should raise ourselves against the above the offensive stage. What is the offensive stage? Of course, naturally, we will talk about the 10 offenses when chanting the holy name. Offensive stage means one is committing one or several of the 10 offenses. What are the 10 offenses? Very briefly. First offense, very dangerous, to blaspheme the devotees of the Lord who dedicate their lives to propagating the holy name of the Lord. Actually, we're supposed to be respectful to all living entities according to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right? Trinadapi Sunichina, Thuroi Vasishna. Being very tolerant. Amanina, Amanadena, Kirtaniyasana. We're not supposed to offend anybody. One of the austerities of speech, Satya Priya Hitam, is to always speak pleasingly, beneficially, right? Truthfully. So what to speak of other devotees? And what does it mean, a devotee? If someone even chants Hare Krishna one time, we offer respects to such a person in the mind. Just one time. If some big rascal, I'm not going to mention names, because I look at the news too often. Too many names come to my mind. If one big rascal chants Hare Krishna once, or there was one rascal who arranged for a Rath Yatra ceremony many years ago, one big politician. I offer respects to him in my mind. Of course, I'm not going to do what he says, but that's another issue. We offer respects in our mind, because they're on the path of devotional service. Wow! We're happy for them. We celebrate. It's not that someone comes to the Hare Krishna movement and we say, you got to chant 16 rounds, buddy, or else you're in a fallen condition of life. And Yamadutas are coming to get you. As that song goes, I told you I remember songs. They're coming to get me away, take me away, they're coming to take me away. So, I mean, that's really why it took me 2 more years to join the Hare Krishna movement, because the devotees told me that. I came and I said, I like chanting Hare Krishna. Well, you got to chant 60 rounds, you got to cut all that beautiful hair off. Your beard has to go. Everything has to go, and you have to wear some bed sheets. And I said, these people are crazy. And 2 more years it took me meeting Prabhupada. But we should celebrate. Someone chants Hare Krishna once. Just like that story in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, that Gadadhar Das, not Gadadhar Pandit, he got the Qazi, he told the Qazi, the Muslim person, you got to chant Hare Krishna. And the guy just wanted to get rid of him. He said, I'll chant Hare Krishna tomorrow. And because he chanted Hare Krishna, saying he was going to chant Hare Krishna tomorrow, Gadadhar Das started jumping around in ecstasy. He was celebrating. Right? He said, why do you have to wait till tomorrow? You're chanting now. So we celebrate. And if you don't, if you heavy someone out, then maybe committing offenses. Yeah, because they're devotees. They're chanting one time. They may have so many other problems. They'll go away. I'm not worried about it. Because the holy name is so powerful. You get someone to chant, and eventually they become a simply wonderful. The prophet said. You get someone to chant. I mean, that's when I used to go to the university. to share Krishna consciousness with others, I used to give people beads and say, you chant one round and come back and tell me how you feel, and we'll talk about it tomorrow. That's all. I said, don't have to accept anything I say, don't have to believe in anything. That's all right. I just want you to experiment. We like to experiment in new things. You know, when I was young, people liked to experiment with drugs. So I said, you chant, as Prabhupada said, stay high forever. And I would come back and I said, did you get high? They would say, yeah. I said, you don't have to chant anymore. No, I want to chant. But sometimes when you tell people not to do something, they do it better. Especially with children and young people. I said, no, I'm going to chant. No, it's not. You're not ready yet. You're not qualified. So in other words, we celebrate, wow, one chanting of Hare Krishna, the person's on the path, back to home, back to God, in one little service. And so, first offense on chanting. Don't offend anybody who's even chanting once. They're a great soul. You know, it may take some time, etc., like that, but that's all right. That's all right. We can be patient. We can be patient. That's one thing I learned in my occupation. Being a guru is patience. Even if I haven't learned anything else, it's being patient. So, patient and tolerant, and no longer get amazed at anything that happens or anything my disciples do. So anyways, that's the first offense. I'm not going to take forever to go through the offenses. Second offense is to consider the names of the demigods like Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, people who are independent of the holy name of Lord Vishnu, and of course, the demigods, they're all servants of Lord Vishnu. We don't disrespect them. They're also devotees. Respect them as devotees. They're not God. They're demigods. But we respect them. We offer all respect. They're great devotees. We should be so fortunate to serve in such a capacity. So, next offense is to disobey the order of the spiritual master. The spiritual master is giving instructions according to the Vedic literatures, and we do have a right to ask the spiritual master why there is particular instructions, not blind following. Prabhupada said blind following and absurd inquiries are condemned. But it's a back and forth relationship. The bona fide spiritual master facilitates the advancement of the disciple and engages the disciple according to the disciple's psychophysical nature. Just like we have Srila Prabhupada, and one of his primary disciples was Mr. George Harrison. And George Harrison, does anyone know who George Harrison is? No. He wrote My Sweet Lord, if you didn't know. So George Harrison, said, Prabhupada, do you want me to join the ashram and shave my hair and everything? Prabhupada said, no, please don't do that. Why? Because he was best engaged and he did so much service by his music. And he played the guitar. So, you can find so many justifications. So he played the guitar, and Prabhupada engaged him. And look at this, everybody heard the Hare Krishna mantra around the world because of George Harrison. So Prabhupada knew the psychophysical nature of George Harrison, how to engage him. And he wasn't chanting 16 rounds, but Prabhupada knew how to engage him according to his nature. So everybody has their own nature. That's the spiritual master, an expert spiritual master will engage us. And in the Krishna conscious movement, all the spiritual masters will engage one in serving the mission of Srila Prabhupada, the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, as one happy family. That's a very important point, that all of us, regardless of whoever we're initiated by, are just Prabhupada's family. Just think like that. I do not distinguish myself between who initiated who. Everybody I love everybody. What can I say? Everybody's nice, except for me. So, so anyway, next offense is blaspheming Vedic literatures or literatures pursuant to the Vedic version. We don't criticize any religious literature, regardless of what tradition it comes from. As long as people are following. Prabhupada said if we were in charge of the government, we'd make sure everyone was following their own religion. Fine. Of course, we'd also make sure nobody was killing cows. That goes without saying. Okay, so next offense is to consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to the imagination. As we mentioned before, Hare Krishna mantra is not different from Krishna, certainly not imagination. Next offense is to give some perverted, crazy, imaginative interpretation on the holy name. And that means just some material interpretation. Well, chanting Hare Krishna brings out the theta waves, or the beta waves, or the alpha waves, and that's why I feel so good today. You know, there was actually one devotee even published an article with some scientific studies of what's chanting Hare Krishna and show the graph of the different waves. You know, this is all mundane and it's an offense on chanting. It's not like that. There are bona fide ways to understand the holy name, as we mentioned before, or didn't mention today yet. Hare refers to Radharani, the Bhagavad form. Krishna refers to Krishna. Ram refers to Lord Ramchandra, Balaram, Radharaman. It's one way. Then we could further analyze the word Krishna. Krish means to attract. Na means to negate the material existence and also to experience Nanda. So that's another meaning of the word Krishna. But that's bona fide. That's from the Acharyas, disciplic succession. So, Krishna. So, next offense is to commit sins on the strength of chanting. Because by chanting, we get rid of all these impressions, bad impressions, and all the karma. Everybody knows what karma is? Karma in this context, the word karma means work, but it also can be the reactions to work. And there's different reactions to work. There's the parabdha karma, the aparabdha karma, and this, you can read Nectar of Devotion if you want to find out these things. There's reactions that haven't yet come, that are just, as they say, just now coming. You understand that expression? That tomorrow something's going to happen to me. You look at your horror scope. Oh my God. This is horror. And then tomorrow, oh my God. I remember there's some people have this horoscope that says you're going to have one bad marriage, so they arrange a marriage with a banana tree. So that's the one bad marriage. It's true. You heard about this before?
For real?
Yeah, that's true. So we have a whole fireside. I've never done a fireside place like that here. But Ditch and I myself are going to arrange for those. We have, marriage dose, So we have some old banana trees here. If any of you girls are interested. So now when you chant Hare Krishna, Prabhupada said, and you clap your hands and dance, then all the lines of your palm become changed, right? So we don't worry about any of those things. I mean, I had one horoscope done. They said, several of them said, you're going to die when you're before you're 65, right? 65. So I was just counting down. Okay, telling all the devotees, you don't have 6 more months. Here's my will, health care, stuff like that. And nothing happened. I said, what happened? I was disappointed, didn't get a chance to see Yamaraj or anything. I was looking forward to it. So, then I realized, oh, I was chanting that mantra, that's the problem. So by chanting Hare Krishna, it doesn't matter. You may make all the stars become auspicious even though they appear to be inauspicious. Even, there's that story about Hanuman that it came time for his Saturn period, so Saturn came to him and said, it's time for your Saturn period. Oh my God. And Hanuman said, yes, you can just sit on my head. And then Hanuman put a big boulder on top of poor Saturn. And Saturn said, can I get me out of here? And Hanuman said, yeah, as long as you leave. So the point is, you worship Hanuman, you worship Krishna, Lord Brahma, especially Lord Brahma. And then all these ujadoshas, they're just fly away like anything. And even your Saturn period is good because it helps you become more attached to Krishna. And detached. Everything negative turns into a positive. I mean, I can think of the things that happened to me in this lifetime that were not so pleasant, but I thank Krishna for them because they helped me in Krishna consciousness. Like I always mention, my kidney stones. It's pleasant. No, it wasn't pleasant. But it helped me connect more with Krishna. I realized so many things by that particular experience. So, anyway, so the next offense, don't want to take forever with the offenses. Next offense is to think that chanting is just some ritual. Like we have many rituals in the Krishna consciousness movement, like I'm wearing a dhoti, sannyas dhoti. But this dhoti will not take me back to Godhead. Ravana also wore a dhoti, as far as I know. I have to check again. So the point is, clothes are not necessarily spiritual or material, it depends on how you use them. If you use the clothes, I can take my dhoti, use the clothes and go see a Bollywood movie. And it's not a spiritual dhoti anymore. Or I can put on pants and play my guitar and chant Hare Krishna, and it's spiritual. So, we have to see certain external things we do, they help us remember Krishna. I mean, I like dressing like this. Helps me remember Krishna. I like having a sika. Helps me remember Krishna. People get attracted anyway. So, I like all these things. But these things are not going to help me go back to Godhead unless I can chant Hare Krishna properly. Like devotees would sometimes have this saying about a shika. They said you should have a shika so that Krishna can pull you back to Godhead. And I was thinking, what about the poor bald people who can't grow up? And then I felt very envious towards the ladies because they can go back to God a lot easier. They have much more hair. So we have to understand the Shiga is a tradition. It's Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition. Fine. But what will take us back to Godhead is our pure chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and our service to Krishna and Guru. And our pleasing Krishna and Guru. That's what will take us back to God. Really. So in my life, I'm thinking how to please Prabhupada. And ready to do whatever will please Prabhupada because Yasha Prasada, Bhagavad Prasada, Yasha Prasada, Nagati Topi. If I please Prabhupada, then Krishna gets pleased. Simple mathematical formula. Things equal to the same thing are equal to each other. I just remember that. And this is my message to everybody. We should think of how to please Srila Prabhupada, who is, all of us are connected to, as Prabhupada is ultimately our ultimate shiksha, inspiration in Krishna consciousness. So the ninth offense is actually quite interesting. Ninth offense is to not preach the glories formally, it's stated in a formal way, that's what I mean. Not preach the glories of the Lord to those who are faithless, But I just really want to unpack that. That means, for me, this particular offense means to be careful what you say to people and don't give people more than they can bear to hear. In order to accomplish that, you have to know who you are speaking to before you open your trap. Mouth, sorry. Because oftentimes, vacho vegam manasa krode vacho, we want to speak. And like I mentioned before, the devotees spoke to me a little too heavily in the beginning. And even though they were speaking to someone that would ultimately join the Krishna consciousness movement, it drove me away for some time. So that's the offense on chanting. That you just use your ears a little bit and your eyes and try to see who you're talking to. And you present things in a way that they can digest. You don't give a sick person fried food because they can't digest it. But someone who is healthy, you can give them a big feast. Same thing with Krishna consciousness. Everybody can hear something about Krishna. Yeah, everybody can take a little prasadam at least. So, understand who you're speaking to, but try to help everybody in one way or the other. And Tentabets is to not have complete faith in chanting the holy name and maintain material attachments. That means, as you're chanting, you should be trying to get more attached to Krishna, and ultimately, the material attachments will fall away. Rasa Bharjam Rasa Pirsa, Paranjista, Nivartita. Okay? And then Bhaktivedanta Thakur mentions sort of the 11th offense. It's also offensive to be inattentive while chanting. And how do you become attentive in chanting? That's the big question everyone asks me all the time. We think of why we're chanting when we're chanting. In other words, what is from our hearts? What do we want? I want to connect with Krishna. I want to connect with Radha and Krishna. I want to connect with my spiritual master. Or as George Harrison said, I really want to see you, Lord. It takes so long, I know. Hare Krishna. Anyway, isn't it? Something like that. Intense, lolyam. Just like the word lolyam means like greed or intense hankering. So we are hankering for intensely for things of this world. So we should hanker for something related to Krishna. That's all. Please, Krishna, help this person become Krishna conscious. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. With emotion, not just with your brain, with your heart. Heart is the soul. Brain is just part of the thing, the machine. The brain is not the mind. The brain is connected to the mind. Hare Krishna. I guess I said something wrong. So anyway, those are the events of chanting. And positively, not to prolong class, please study the Shikshashika prayers left by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and study the translations given by Prabhupada in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, the Anjalila of the Shikshashika prayers, to try to understand the mood of Krishna's dearmost devotee, Srimati Radharani, because if we actually want to come to the topmost platform of devotional service, we have to get the mercy of Srimati Radharani. Of course, we want to get first Balaram's mercy, and Balaram is represented by a spiritual master. No one gets the mercy of Krishna without the mercy of Balaram. And then we approach Srimati Radharani. To understand how to serve Krishna. And Srimati Radharani, her mood has been manifested by Krishna himself as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we study Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in order to understand Srimati Radharani in order to understand her mood, in order to understand how to serve Krishna. And this way our devotional service will perfect itself very, very quickly. So that's first initiation. Second initiation, very quick, is basically called Brahman initiation, and it means that someone is duty bound, that's a heavy word, duty bound, to cultivate the qualities. Of course everyone should be cultivating these qualities. Samadana kapaksha jam shanti rajvamevacha Gyanaviganamastikyam brahma karma svabhacham. Qualities in the mode of goodness, qualities such as being equal poised, self-controlled, austere, accepting everything favorable for Krishna consciousness, rejecting everything unfavorable, being clean, being tolerant, being religious. And ultimately, those who are taking second initiation are representatives of the movement like Brahmins or priests. Regardless of what Varna they were born in or what their background is, it says that if one is Krishna conscious, Kiva Vipra, Kiva Nyasi, Shudra Kimino, Ye Krishna Tattva Veda, say Guru Hoy, one can become an instructor for society. And ultimately, that's everyone's duty to help others. Everyone's duty is to become Krishna conscious and become gurus for others. Maybe not gurus in the sense of initiation, but even more important is giving cogent instruction to others, helping others. Our whole life should be based upon helping others. It is the greatest satisfaction when we can help others. It's built into the soul. That's why even in the material world, we find people who are helping people materially, and they're very happy at doing this, even though they're not getting any money or anything from it. You hear about all these doctors who go overseas to the problem areas in the world, and they're very happy doing that. They're feeling great satisfaction. Now, what to speak of those who can help people in an eternal sense, in a permanent sense, in a spiritual sense? That is the greatest source of happiness. So if you want to be happy, even to the highest degree of Krishna consciousness, then dedicate yourself to helping others come to Krishna and helping others come to Srila Prabhupada. So, thank you very much. So now we'll continue with the name giving, if that's all right. Okay, so we have 9 nice devotees who are taking first initiation. And so, they can, even though we're very crowded here, the system, I guess they could offer their obeisances in place or something like that. The system is to offer obeisances to Sri Radha Goloka Lokananda, first of all, and then to Srila Prabhupada, secondly, and then to, I guess, my humble or not so humble self. I always get confused when people say, please accept my humble obeisances. I'm always wondering what that means. Because if I think I'm humble, then